What's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Before I get this video started, I wanted to introduce you to a workout channel, a friend of mine, Keone. And this is for everybody. This is for you, your friend, maybe a family member, maybe somebody that's wanting to start working out again. And, you can interact with her. I will leave her channel link in the description down below. You can leave tips in the comment section. You can interact. So just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to discover that channel. It's pretty straightforward as well, raw, unedited, more of a one-on-one type situation. And the workouts are really good. So if you're right now in the quarantine, you really don't feel comfortable going to the gym, or you really can't leave the house or whatnot, you can tune in to her channel and work out with her. She tries to upload daily, maybe every other day at times. So just check it out. I will leave the link in the description down below so you guys can check out that channel. Again, interact, subscribe, spam it, leave comments just to see, check it out. If you have any tips, I'm sure she'll check out those comments as well. And now on to today's video. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about a little bit about that open signal report. So a lot of people had mixed feelings about it, which is understandable. So one of the main points that was brought up to me via email was, how did Verizon have the best mobile video experience, but they weren't the fastest? And that's a good point. You guys are making a great point, because if AT&T is the fastest nationwide carrier, shouldn't they be also the best on the video experience? And I think the reason that is just Verizon, in my opinion, they have better management of the video. So even if you are on Verizon's best plan to get more unlimited, you're still only getting 720p high definition streaming. And that doesn't necessarily take up a lot of data throughput to push 720p. Some people have told me they can even do 1080p at 4 megabits per second. I believe the last time I checked it, Verizon roughly allows around 4.4 to 4.5 megabits per second on the streaming cap. So that, 720p streams fine at that speed. Does it buffer a little bit on 1080p? I have seen that, but I also have seen it run just fine on 1080p. A lot of platforms are now using a compression technique. The other day, I took a picture of a Netflix stream. I was watching a movie on Netflix, and it was at 2160p, full 4K, at 7.66 megabits per second. That's just great compression technique to be able to push that high of quality at that low of speed. Not every platform has picked up that kind of compression tech yet. I think Netflix is the best at doing that. They also have their own servers, so hardly have any issues streaming whatsoever on Netflix with a lower speed. I did end up moving, so I went from fiber back to DSL 50 megabit per second package. So that was a drastic drop in speed. But with Netflix, I haven't had any issues on streaming whatsoever. And I've even had people tell me that they've had lower speeds on their package, 25 megabits per second, and they still had no issues streaming 2 to 3 TVs 4K on Netflix. So that's something that other platforms I think need to get better at, like HBO Max. I know they're lagging behind on that. Someone mentioned to me that with HBO Max, you'll probably need the full 25 megabits per second to really push a full 4K stream. And that's also the reason they may have not released a 4K HDR yet. Maybe HBO Max is looking at a compression technique to make that a better experience as well. And I think that's, I'm not saying that Verizon has a special compression technique, but the fact that they only allow up to 720p and that only takes 4 megabits per second, I think that makes it a better experience overall for any user on Verizon's network. As to compared to AT&T, AT&T allows, if you're on their best plan and you have the stream saver off, AT&T allows for whatever quality is available at that time. The best quality, if it's 4K, you can stream it at 4K. If it's 1080p, you can stream it at 1080p. And I think that does put a strain on the network, on other platforms that don't have the compression technique that Netflix has. So if you're trying to stream a full 4K movie or TV show on any other platform, and they do need to push the full 25 megabits per second to push to get the 4K, which I did the research on Google, it does say you need roughly around 25 megabits per second to push the full 4K quality, and that could put a strain on the network. And I've seen that with AT&T, that while traveling, it does cut in and out quite a bit, whereas Verizon at 720p has less struggles with that issue. Same with T-Mobile. They have the add-on, the HD add-on, which is an additional $10, I believe. And they allow you to stream at whatever the highest quality is at that time. But they also have issues with it cutting in and out. If you're traveling, you're on the road, you are going between different cell sites. One cell site may be unloaded and the next cell site is congested. So that can cause for a bad experience because of the quality. If the quality doesn't degrade, then it'll just buffer if the speeds aren't up to par. So that can cause for a worse experience on the consumer side. Whereas Verizon at 720p really doesn't deal with that because, again, they just have to push 4 megabits per second to have you stream at full HD 720p. Now, people are saying, well, I'm looking at it as a negative. Somebody sent me an email because it's just not 1080p. And that's, you got a point too. While all the other carriers are giving you 1080p on that plan, with Verizon on their highest plan, you're only getting 720p. Again, keep in mind, you are able to get 1080p, Verizon says, but it's an extra $10. And you have to call in to add that to your plan, which is going to increase the plan. So people aren't necessarily happy with that either. They don't want to pay that extra $10. In my opinion, on a screen of the size of a phone, 720p looks just fine. But of course, if you're a geek and you want the highest quality, Verizon's going to make you pay for it. But not many of their customers are paying for it, which is why I think they have a better mobile video experience overall across the network, and that allows for them to manage the network better. Again, like I said, you are able to do the 1080p. I'm probably going to test it out with Verizon. I'm going to do 720p for a little and then do 1080p and see if the difference in video quality and an experience is better on 720p than it would be on 1080p. It doesn't take a lot more to run 1080p, but once we get into the 4K and all that, then it becomes a little bit more trickier. Again, I mean, honestly, these phone screens now don't have full 4K displays anyway. Most like the Samsungs, I think they're at 1440p 2K. So I don't think anybody should be worrying about anyway trying to stream a full 4K quality when the phone can't make do of it. But again, I still think I stick to it that in a congested area where deprioritization is heavy and it's kicking in, I still think that Verizon is better off with 720p and maintaining that stream instead of having to struggle at 1080p and the video quality just buffers. So that's just kind of the point I wanted to make about the report. I know people are up and down on it because of the fact that this carrier was faster or this carrier had more LTE availability. I know the Sprint one doesn't make sense at all. I don't even know why they're still incorporated in that. I think most third-party firms have now confirmed they will stop testing the Sprint altogether once the networks are fully integrated. Until then, it seems they may still consider Sprint an actual network, which makes absolutely no sense in my opinion. T-Mobile is already decommissioning sites, moving customers over. So while that happens, while they move customers over, of course, Sprint's network is going to get faster because it has less users on it. So just keep all of that in mind about that open signal report. I do look forward to RootMetrics starting their testing up again. Theirs is more scientific. They actually do the testing. The other ones are all crowdsourced based, so that can be a little iffy, but usually what we want to do here on the channel and all of you guys, we want to kind of look at all of them and then make our good educated guess. But after looking at all of them, not just you look at one and then you make your final decision on who's the best. You want to take a look at all of the testings and then, of course, do some testing for yourself and then kind of come to the conclusion on who is the best network. And that's that's what we want to do on the channel. And again, of course, towards the end of the year, we're going to look at the coverage again, like we do at every end of year, kind of compare, and then we'll go from there and see who got the better network, who gained the most coverage, and we'll definitely look at that towards the end of this year. Again, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you are new, if you have been on the channel, you can go ahead and end the video. But if you are new, make sure you hit the notification bell so you are notified. In the YouTube app, there is a settings to push notifications that will allow you to actually get notifications to your phone. Sometimes people are telling me it's late. Some people have told me that they haven't pushed the notifications. So now they're getting the notifications from YouTube, from the channel. So make sure to do that. And then also follow the Twitter. I do post the videos on the Twitter. So you guys have 2 platforms to get push notifications from when the content is uploaded. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.